When I first joined corporate, I was asked to just network around and talk to people, and that's what I did, and it was very awkward. Welcome to another episode of Career Circles. My name is Amrita. I have been in corporate for 2.5 years, and I am going to talk to you about networking today. Networking is like a sleazy, slimy term that gets thrown around very casually, and I'm going to share things that have been really helpful for me in networking well with people, in actually making genuine connections. And I hope that you take these tips and tricks, and I hope that they help you in your journey as well. When I had just joined my organization, I was encouraged to speak to people up and get some projects. I was encouraged to network and talk to people and tell them about myself, learn about them, and everything. I tried doing all of that, and it did get me a project after a lot of trying. But at a point in time, I felt that it felt very inauthentic to me to just reach out to someone just because I want a project, and I did not have a lot of common things to talk about with these people. So yeah, it started feeling very inauthentic to me after a point in time, and it might feel the same way to a lot of people, even though you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone if you are doing something new. But there has to be a way to go about it, I guess. And just not doing networking strategically, or not having a plan in your mind, might drain you out a lot when you're going through, like when you're trying to network with other people. So in this video, we are going to talk about a couple of mindset shifts, how you can think about networking differently, and three, four, five tips, five tips that actually help me network better with people, connect with them better. And after that, I'm going to tell you about some ways you can start networking today, and you can build your network, you can improve your networking skills today. So let's get started. We all know about the different benefits of networking. Sometimes it's very tangible, like it could be directly linked to your promotion. It can give you better opportunities. It can give you access to better people who can then give you better opportunities. It can get you referrals when you need it for a job switch. But I feel that is a very limited perspective of networking. Networking for me is more like making friends, and I'll discuss about it in detail later. But it also helps your emotional well-being, it supports your mental well-being, and it helps you make friends in a city that you never knew anyone in, and it helps you build a new family over here who you can rely on in your times of difficulties and everything. So networking is much more than just the job related benefits that you often hear about on the internet. So here are five things that have really helped me become a better networker than I was, and I'm still learning, but here are the five things that have helped me so far. So the first thing is, think of it as becoming friends instead of networking. So try to get to know a person at a deeper level beyond their work. Maybe talk about the places that you have traveled, where they are from, or what's in their bucket list for the future. So travel is one topic that I feel everyone really connects on. Apart from that, you can talk about movies, books, whatever it is. Try to find a common interest and maybe build a conversation over that. It really puts off the pressure from you and from the other person just to say the right things or the cool things, and helps you be more authentic, more natural, and have a better conversation overall. The second thing that has really helped me become better at networking is that one-on-one conversations are better than group settings. Let's say a group of 2 or 3 or even 4 is fine, but when it becomes a very large group, let's say 10 or 15 people, not everybody may get a chance to speak, and not everybody might feel comfortable talking in those situations. So one-on-one conversations first create a much more comfort level, and secondly, they allow you to get to know the other person a lot in a short amount of time. So yeah, that has really helped me. In 2024, I had a goal of meeting one new person every month, and I met all of them, I think most of them, just one on one. or even a group of 2 or 3, and that has worked really well for me. I know so many people now, like at least 12 people, right? So I know at least 12 people now, and this has worked really well for me. Even if you go for a networking event where there is a very large group, try finding 2 or 3 people that you can speak to one on one. Just introduce yourself and try to get to know about them and stuff. Tip number 3 is something that you might have probably heard, that stay interested in other people. Keep asking questions, try to learn more about them, and don't just keep talking about yourself, because people love talking about themselves, and we often don't realize how much we tend to talk about ourselves. But do give other people a chance to talk about themselves. Keep asking questions, keep learning more about them, and that keeps them interested in the conversation. Also, side note, don't just keep asking questions, or don't just interact with someone just for the sake of doing it. If you really want to connect with someone, or if you're interested in someone, then you should try to engage them in a conversation. Just don't do it for the sake of doing it. It's not worth it. You will find your tribe, you will find your vibe, but you don't have to be a force fit into the situation. So don't push yourself, try to force yourself into a group or into a situation where you clearly are not interested. Tip number 4 is something that I just talked about in point 2, that you can give yourself a challenge. I gave myself a challenge to speak to one new person, meet one new person every month, and that worked pretty well for me. And now I feel much more comfortable in meeting new people or having conversations. There are moments of awkwardness, I will not deny that, but still I feel I have grown a lot in terms of networking and just being comfortable in talking to new people. Tip number 5 is also a very common advice, but a lot of people often forget to do it, is follow up. Follow up with the person, keep texting them or keep meeting them from time to time if you can, and just keep in touch, because it's not just a one-time activity. Networking is not a one-time activity. If you want to build a connection or a relationship with someone, it takes time, it takes effort. It's like a friendship. You have to invest in some time or energy into it every now and then to remain connected with people. So if you're really interested in staying connected with someone, if you're really interested in building a relationship with someone, you should follow up, and you should keep making plans for meeting, keep exchanging ideas, keep having conversations. Now that we are done with the 5 tips that have helped me become a better networking person, here are 3 ways that you can start today to build a network of your own and to have better relationships in general. So the first one is to find online communities, join online communities based on your interest, based on your job profile. It could be in anything that you're interested in. So join these communities and see what kind of conversations are going on, contribute to those conversations. You can ask questions, you can respond to other people's questions, share recommendations, and it helps building credibility. It helps in letting people know who you are, and perhaps reach out to you for certain help that they need. And that's how you start building friendships, that's how you start building relationships. It continues on to step number 2 that we are going to talk about. So step number 2 is to find 5 people maybe, and connect with them and ask them to meet you. Or you can also start a challenge like me, which was to meet one new person a month and just speak with them and try to take them for lunch or take them for coffee or something, and then have a conversation, get to know each other. So when I had just joined my organization, it was my goal to speak to one new person every single day, or at least once a week. So what I would do is, during lunch, I would take my tiffin box and see if there's someone eating alone. I would go and sit with them, talk to them. Or if I knew someone who is sitting with someone I don't know, I would go and join that group of people and get to know more people through the person that I already knew. So that really helps when you make an active effort or give yourself a challenge to meet certain number of people every day, every week, or every month. It can be totally dependent on you, but you just have to ensure that whatever you say you're gonna do, you have to fulfill. The third thing that you can do today is to follow up or just reconnect with people that you haven't spoken to in a long time. So it could be your friends or your batchmates with whom you have not connected in a very long time, or it could be the people that you meet and then you have to schedule a follow-up session. That sounded so formal. So basically you have to make plans to meet again so that you have something to look forward to and you can develop upon this relationship to build a deeper relationship with someone, to build a friendship with someone. And it's not necessarily that you have to go out to eat. You can plan activities together. I just had an art session with my friends today, the friends that I met through the networking events and the ones I met through one-on-one conversations. So I just had an art session with them today. We de-stressed and we talked about a lot of things. So it was super fun. And you can have these as well. Initiate them on your own, or just find people or just find communities who are already organizing them. Go there and make some friends. It's just that follow up with whoever you are connecting with so that you can, it's as I said, it's not just a one time thing that you meet them, talk, have one conversation and it's done. To build a relationship, it takes time and it takes effort, and you have to put in that time and effort to connect with someone and to stay connected with that person. That was all about networking from my end. I hope that this video was useful for you. If it was, then definitely like, comment what are the other topics that you would want some videos on, subscribe to this channel, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.